In 1542, Portuguese sailors in East Asia spotted a big island that they couldn't find on any of the maps. They were so impressed by how beautiful it was, and they simply called it Ilha Formosa, which means the beautiful island in Portuguese. And for over 400 years, the island that I come from was called Formosa. You may know it as Taiwan, but its official name is the Republic of China. As you can tell by these three names, my native country has a fascinating history. I would like to tell you about the role of Taiwan's Aboriginal people, such as myself, have had in Taiwan's colorful history. Let me tell you a little bit about the history of native people in three separate parts. The age of imperialism, post-World War II, and recent history. Where is Taiwan? It consists of a big island and several small islands off the coast of China. Before 1600s, almost all the inhabitants were native tribes, and they were all self-governed. But in 1620s, the Dutch established a colony in Taiwan, and they brought more people from China. The Dutch also taught the Aboriginal people to write down their own language by using the Latin alphabet. In 1662, a civil war occurred in China between the old Ming Dynasty and the new Qing Dynasty. Ming lost and fled to Taiwan, where they overthrew the Dutch. Ming brought so many Chinese immigrants with them that the Taiwanese native people became a minority in their own homeland. 2 decades later, the Qing totally completely defeated the Ming, and they formed a local government in Taiwan. And this was the first time that Taiwan was under Chinese rule. Qing didn't respect Taiwan or its people. They gave Taiwanese land to their servant or soldier, which displaced the native. Eventually, only the mountain area or eastern part of Taiwan were still inhabited by the native community. In 1895, Taiwan was transferred to Japanese rule for about 50 years. When the Qing lost the first Sino-Japanese War, the Japanese brought so many new technologies and they modernized Taiwan, but they didn't treat the people on this island well. The Japanese government began implementing Japanization. They forced people to speak Japanese, to adopt Japanese name. They forced many young men to fight for them, and many of them were killed in World War II. Speaking of World War II, at this time, another civil war was going on in China between the nationalists known as KMT and the communists known as CCP. In 1945, the KMT took control of Taiwan, and once again, like the previous rulers, they didn't treat the people well at all. The KMT soldiers often bullied and abused Taiwanese people. The KMT lost the war with the CCP, and they fled to Taiwan with 2 million people with them. And they also engaged in the land reform scheme that took even more land from the native. The ROC government, run by the KMT, they introduced Sinicization programs across Taiwan to counteract the Japanization. Mandarin Chinese culture was favored over Taiwan's long-established Hokkien, Hakka, and other indigenous heritage. Now, Taiwan is the first democratic country in Asia and is also one of the freest and the most prosperous country in Asia. In this atmosphere of peace and freedom, the Aboriginal people, once again, they can perform their culture and tradition. There are so many organizations that in Taiwan keep the Aboriginal culture alive by performing music, doing dances, making traditional crafts and holding festivals. There's even an amusement park in Taiwan that teach people by doing dances and music to teach people about their cultures. The mixed multicultural of Aboriginal, Chinese, Japanese, and Europeans has formed a beautiful tapestry that my people are still proud to be part of.